Welcome to my channel Techify with Adil. So today in this video we will be discussing about Microsoft Entra ID and Active Directory. It's a comparison video. So earlier in my previous video we have seen about the features and Entra ID schema, and also we have seen a basic some of the difference points and also similarities between this Entra ID and also the Active Directory domain services. So here this video is primarily focused only on their differences and features. So ADDS is traditional deployment of Windows Server based Active Directory on physical or virtual server, which a lot of our users would have come across on premises. So although ADDS is commonly considered as being primarily directory service, it's only one component of Windows Active Directory suite of technologies, which also includes Active Directory certificate services, then Active Directory lightweight directory services LDS, then Active Directory federation services, then Active Directory rights management services. So it's only one component of Windows Active Directory technology, so which this includes all these services within that. So for the certificate authentic things, and for the LDS directory servicing, then for federation servicing, everything is comes under this single component suite. So when comparing this ADDS with Microsoft Entra ID, it's important to note the below features of ADDS. So ADDS is truly a directory service with a hierarchical structure. So ADDS uses DNS for locating the resources such as domain controllers and other resources. So you can query and manage ADDS by using LDAP calls like lightweight direct access protocol. ADDS primarily uses the Kerberos protocol for authentication. So ADDS uses OUs and GPO management, which actually totally we don't have in our Entra ID. Then ADDS includes computer objects, then representing computers such that join an Active Directory domain. So ADDS uses trust between domains for delegated management. So you can deploy ADDS on an Azure virtual machine to enable scalability availability for an on-premise ADDS. However, deploying ADDS on an Azure virtual machine doesn't make any use of Microsoft Entra ID. So characteristics of Microsoft Entra ID here. So although Microsoft Entra ID has many similarities to ADDS, there are also many differences. So it's important to realize that Microsoft Entra isn't the same as deploying the Active Directory domain controller on an Azure virtual machine and adding it to your on-premises domain. So because very basically Microsoft Entra is an service, is a platform as a service provided by Azure. But the Active Directory domain controller has to be deployed on a virtual machine or on-premises server. Then it has to be done, all this management and infrastructure, everything has to be handled and managed by the infra team. When comparing Microsoft Entra ID with ADDS, it's important to take note on the below features or characteristics of Microsoft Entra ID. So Microsoft Entra ID is primarily an identity solution, and it's designed for internet-based applications by HTTP protocol, there's a port 80 and HTTPS 443 communications. So Microsoft Entra ID is a multi-tenant directory service. Microsoft Entra users and groups are created in a flat structure, and there are no OUs or GPOs, same as our ADDS. So in ADDS we have this OUs, is the basic thing we use for categorizing and also for organizing the computers and users and so on. So that basic structure itself is not available in the Microsoft Entra. So you can't query the Microsoft Entra IDs by using the LDAP. Instead, Microsoft Entra uses the REST API over HTTP and HTTPS. Microsoft Entra ID doesn't use Kerberos for authentication, which was the primary authentication protocol for ADDS. Instead, it uses HTTP and HTTPS protocols such as SAML, WS Federation and Open ID Connect for authentication, and uses OAuth for authorization. Microsoft Entra ID includes federation services and many third-party services such as Facebook are federated with the Trust Microsoft Entra ID. So far in general, like the basic important differences between these two Entra ID and ADDS is like, first basic thing is a deployment. So Entra ID is most focused on cloud based, while ADDS is only on the on-prem. So their scope, Entra ID is designed for cloud and hybrid, like meaning combines both the cloud and on-prem, whereas the ADDS is focused on on-premises environment only. Then management part, Entra ID is managed through the cloud, while ADDS requires on-premises management as well. So scalability, Entra ID offers greater scalability due to its cloud nature when compared to the ADDS. And beyond this, like when we see like the companies or the industries, which industries more leverage on the Microsoft Entra ID and on ADDS is, like say technological and IT service based industries or companies. They more move on Entra ID, as they can use the secure access to the cloud applications and services and support remote workforces. Then healthcare industries, like they can use this Entra ID to manage access to electronic health records and also other sensitive patient data, ensuring compliance with the regulations as per their regulations. Then financial and banking sectors, so these use this Entra ID for the financial systems and data, then implementing MFA and comply with industrial regulations. Then with the educational sector, like schools and universities use Entra ID to manage student and faculty identities, then provide SSO for educational resources and support remote learning environments. Then the retail sectors, companies also use Entra ID to manage employee access to internal systems, support customer identity management, and enhance security for online transactions. So these are the like basic or very major industries that uses Entra ID features for their functioning. And other side, like the sectors like manufacturing, government, public sector, telecommunications, and also some of the retails, and also still some healthcare, they all still keep using the ADDS. Say example, the manufacturing companies use ADDS to manage domain joined devices, ensuring security policies and integrated legacy systems with modern IT infrastructures. Also the government sectors, then also for the telecommunications, to manage their network devices with group policies, and also support LDAP and KEBROS authentications. And the retail healthcare, the basic things are is like employee access to the internal system, and also to ensure secure transactions. So as mentioned, the key differences will be the type of deployment, then the scalability, and also the management. Entra ID managed through the cloud, and while the ADDS requires on-premise management, we need to have a separate dedicated team for their management.